July 1, 1863. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a quiet little town that had no idea it was about to get thrown right into the history books. The summer air was thick, the hills rolled lazy under a blazing sun, and most folks were just minding their own business. But by noon that day, the ground was shaking under boots, cannons were barking in the distance, and the sky was filling with the smoke of a fight that would decide the fate of a nation. General Robert E. Lee, the big man in gray, had brought his Confederate army north. His boys were feelin' high and mighty after a string of wins, thinking maybe, just maybe, they could twist the Union's arm enough to end the war on their own terms. Facing him, Union General George Meade, a no-nonsense guy who'd only been in charge for 3 days. Talk about getting thrown in the deep end. The first day hit fast. Confederate troops slammed into Union cavalry just west of town. Those bluecoat riders under General John Buford. Tough as nails. They dug in, buying precious hours until the Union infantry could show up. But by the end of the day, the Rebs had pushed the Union boys right through Gettysburg, forcing them to regroup on the high ground south of town, Cemetery Hill, Culp's Hill, and that long ridge running toward the Round Tops. High ground. In war, that's gold. Day 2, July 2nd, was a meat grinder. Lee tried to smash the Union left flank at places with names that sound almost peaceful, Devil's Den, the wheat field, the peach orchard, but there was nothing peaceful about him that day. Bullets zipped, shells screamed, and men fought tooth and nail over every patch of dirt. On the far end, Union Colonel Joshua Chamberlain and his 20th Maine held the very tip of the line at Little Round Top. When their ammo ran low, Chamberlain didn't blink, he ordered a bayonet charge straight down the hill, catching the Rebs off guard and saving the flank. That move became the stuff of legend. Day 3, July 3rd, Lee rolled the dice. He ordered what's now called Pickett's Charge, about 12,500 Confederate soldiers marching nearly a mile across open ground straight into the heart of the Union line. Imagine a solid gray wall moving forward, drums pounding, flags waving. For a few minutes, it looked like they might just pull it off. But Union artillery ripped into them, and when they finally hit the blue line at a spot now called the Angle, they were met with a storm of musket fire. Men fell by the hundreds. The charge broke. Lee's army started pulling back. The gamble had failed. When the smoke cleared, Gettysburg had left a scar on the land and on the country. Roughly 51,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or missing, the bloodiest battle ever fought on American soil. For the Confederacy, it was the high water mark, they'd never again invade the North in such force. For the Union, it was a shot of hope that maybe, just maybe, the war could be won. For months later, President Abraham Lincoln stood on that very battlefield and gave the Gettysburg Address, just 272 words, but words that still echo, that this nation shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Gettysburg wasn't just a fight over a patch of Pennsylvania farmland. It was where the tide turned. Where courage, sacrifice, and grit shaped the future of a divided America. And it's a story that still reminds us, freedom's never free, and history's